I would say like your best bet is probably like hitting up local promoters, local artists, seeing if you could photograph their set, and then like work your way up that way.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was like when I started the podcast. Get left on red all day.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
left
And
on
then, like
red.
once we start to build a bit more traction, people are like, "Oh wow, like I want to hop on." You know?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man. I mean,
How does your since your mom bought you your first camera,
yeah,
and now you're become successful?
yeah.
Does she ever tell you like she's proud of you or?
Oh yeah, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both my parents are super proud of me. I mean, they've been helping me out since day one, really. Like, you know, if I ever have like a question, like a business question, like I always go to my dad first. You know, I'm always like, it's always like, man, this person isn't like paying me on time or like,
Oh snap.
you know, something like that. Like, I always be like, you know what, like, what do you think I should do? And like, I mean, he's never steered me in the wrong direction.
And you're pretty busy. Like you stay like.
Jeez, man, yeah, this last couple months have been crazy.
Yeah? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I guess I guess if you like follow me on Instagram or if like you like follow my page, you know I've been working with like Shabuzi recently.
Yeah.
He's a country artist from Virginia, moved out to LA. He made a bar song and he's made a bunch of like really dope records and songs. But yeah, I met with him in April, up in Boulder, man. Just like, again, like, one of the promoters in Colorado that I reached out to like years ago, and I've built a connection with him, and I've, you know, just done like a lot of good work with him. He hit me up and he's like, "Yo, like there's this artist in Boulder that needs a recap. Like, you know, you think you could do it?" And like, there's a whole story behind that. That was like pretty cool in my opinion, but I was like, yeah, I'll come out and did the recap for him. And, you know, prior to meeting him, I actually like knew his music. Excuse me, I had a burp. That's coffee, man.
It's all right. It's okay.
But yeah, I knew his music and I was actually a fan of his music. Like,
So were you surprised when they told you it was?
yeah, I was like, oh shit, like
Really?
Like, you should have just said something like in the beginning, like I would have like. Yeah, there was just like a lot of logistic. I remember it was 420 week in April and I was super busy. I had a lot of stuff booked up and I was like, you know, I was like, man, like I don't really know if I could like, it's just like Boulder was an hour away. It was just like logistically it wouldn't really make sense for me. And I was like, yeah, man, like I remember they had 2 nights in Boulder. The first night was 420. I want to say it was 420, and I was shooting Key Glock at Red Rocks, and I was like, I'm sorry, man, like I gotta go to Key Glock at Red Rocks, like I can't do like a venue in Boulder tonight. Like I was really looking forward to Key Glock. Of course, like they never told me it was like Shabuzi.
Well, it was, yeah.
Yeah, because
So you're putting it off?
yeah, I mean I wasn't putting it off, but I was
You
just
just
like
couldn't do it.
They had 2 nights, and I was like, I can't do the first night, but you know we could maybe make the second night work.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked him like, I'm like, who even is it? Like who's the artist? Like let me check him out. And he's like, the promoter's name is Dan. He's like, oh, Shabuzi. And I was like, oh shit, like, you know, my girl showed me his music like 2 months ago, and I've just been following him and listening to his music since then, just as like a fan, because I was like really just kind of getting into like the country scene, like the music wise.
Yeah.
And it was just something I never really explored, and I was like, man, this is like, I just. Because I was always listening to rap and like, I guess not really EDM, but like maybe a little bit of EDM. I wouldn't really call myself an EDM person, but I was just kind of getting sick and tired of rap, and so I started listening to country more. Yeah, so I found his music, and I just started listening to it as a fan, and I was just really impressed with like his artist image, like his art direction, and also just like it was something different. It was country, which was kind of already different to me, but the way that he did it was like country and rap almost like combined, and I thought that was really interesting and something I've never heard before, and it was good, like, you know, it was good music, and I was like, oh, this is sweet. So yeah, fast forward to like, you know, hearing about that, and I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, Shabuzi, like this is an artist that personally I really like, you know, I like his music. I want to like, yeah, I want to do the recap just, you know, because I want to do stuff that I'm like passionate about. I'm a fan, you know.
Yeah.
And I think who knows what I already had booked, but it was something that was probably something I just wasn't really like passionate about. Like that wasn't like where my love for this stuff was at. And yeah, so I remember I canceled that, drove up to Boulder, did the recap, and talking to the managers, talked to Boozy a little bit, and yeah, I remember I hit him. They really liked the recap. After that, I remember I was like, just, you know, I'd love to do more work with y'all. Like, you know, just shoot me like a time and place, I'll be there. And then like, I think, man, probably later that week, I think like Bar Song went number 1 on Billboard Top 100, and like I remember they were doing like, you know, all this stuff. I didn't hear from them for 2 months, and I was like, I remember sitting there thinking like, damn, like, you know, I probably like missed my opportunity or something to do more work with them. Like, you know, they're doing all this stuff, and yeah, just like some random week. I remember I woke up,